Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is News Now at noon.
And thanks for joining us for News Now at noon. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Now at noon, a look at a number of local races.
Plus, we check other local headlines. But first, a look at our weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's tracking some windy conditions. Hey, Dakota.
That's right, Jay and Matt, and happy Tuesday, everybody, and happy Election Day. Hope you go out there and vote. And we do have a high wind warning. The National Weather Service upgraded this morning for Chautauqua and southern Erie counties. It's actually in effect for northern Erie and Niagara, but for some reason it's not showing up there. And there's a wind advisory for much of western New York, minus Cattaraugus and Allegheny. This is where the strongest winds are going to be, and it's going to be mainly right along the Lake Erie shoreline where we're going to see some of the strongest winds. So the Weather Service also has issued a lakeshore flood warning, and this is for higher waves coming off Lake Erie with the wind. So again, if you live near the Lake Erie shoreline, potential for some minor flooding because of higher waves. Let's take a look at the radar over the past several hours. You can see we've had widespread rain. It's now moving out to the east, and now we're going to be left with scattered activity for the remainder of the day. Yesterday's high was actually in the 50s. It was 53 degrees. That's 1 degree above average there. We bottomed out at about 46 this morning. And the sunset time, getting closer to 5 o'clock now since we have the time change. So let's go hour by hour here today. And you can see the chance of rain is in there, but it will start to dip off as we go throughout the day because, again, it'll be scattered. Temperatures in the upper 50s, but that's not going to last very long. We'll talk about that with that Quick Solution 7-Day a little bit later on in the show. Jay and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. Of course, today, Tuesday, November 6th, is Election Day, and polls across the state are open until 9 o'clock tonight.
Chautauqua County Board of Election officials say the busiest times at the polls will be from 6 to 9 a.m., noon until 1 p.m., and during the evening dinner hour.
Now, if you have not moved your home address, your voting site will still be the same as of 2017. Officials say they expect a good turnout this year. The top race will be for New York State governor, with 5 candidates on the ballot. Incumbent Democrat Andrew Cuomo is being challenged by Republican Mark Molinaro, Libertarian candidate Larry Sharpe, Green Party's Howie Hawkins, and Service to America candidate Stephanie Miner.
Incumbent U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a Democrat, is running against Republican Chelle Farley. Incumbent State Assemblyman Andrew Goodell is running as a Republican, and he'll be challenged by Democrat Judith Einoch. Challenger for New York's 23rd Congressional District is Democrat Tracy Matrano, who's trying to defeat incumbent Congressman Tom Reed.
And the most local race on the ballot in Chautauqua County this year is for Chautauqua County Sheriff. Incumbent Joseph Gerasi is seeking re-election as a Democrat. Challenger James Quattrone is seeking that office as a Republican.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Mark Molinaro spoke with us exclusively last night. The candidate says he deeply cares for the people of Western New York, and he hopes to form a partnership throughout the region. Molinaro wants to collaborate with everyone throughout the state to tackle various issues in New York State.
You probably know I was there on Saturday, I think. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. It was Saturday. I've been all over, Friday or Saturday. I deeply care about the people of the state of New York, and I deeply care about the people of Western New York and want to be that partner. I want to help us lower property taxes. We'll do it 30%. I want to end the corruption that's stealing from New Yorkers. I want to really grow the economy so that we experience the kind of growth that other regions of the country are feeling. Show the respect and support for families, farmers, and small businesses. I want to be that partner who helps lead this state toward a greater quality of life and really prosperity for all New Yorkers. And if given the opportunity, if given the honor of serving as your governor, I will not let you down.
To see more from the Molinaro interview, please visit our website at WNYNewsNow.com.
And Libertarian candidate for New York State Governor Larry Sharpe acknowledges his campaign is making state history whether he finishes first, second, or third. In an exclusive interview with WNY News Now Monday evening, Sharp said that his campaign is scratching the Republicans and worrying about the status quo.
I'm feeling amazing. The reason why I say that is, if you look, all of the indicators are of people who can't be polled. Meaning everybody I meet is someone who saw me on Joe Rogan, or someone who saw me on Dave Rubin, or someone who doesn't have a landline and is over 55 years old. And this is who gets polled. So this is why I'm saying there's a huge underground of people who I don't know, meaning I don't know how many people those are. We have a lot of people who have registered to vote. We have a lot of new voters this year. I don't know how many are mine. So it's hard for me to know how well I'm going to do. To be forward, do I think I can win? I think still yes. Look, the key is, are enough people still getting out there and getting people to know my name? I have enough content to move anybody. If you see my content, I have tons of content. And if people care and they want to look, I'm a viable alternative. So I don't know. Clearly, the Republicans are afraid I'm going to come in second. Otherwise, they wouldn't have attacked me as much as they have. They've been all over me, which is a great thing. I mean, there's no conspiracy theory against Minor or against Hawkins, only against me.
Now, Sharp went on to say he can win the race because he has enough issue-related content to sway anyone who is undecided or wants a change. He advises voters to vote for Governor Andrew Cuomo or Republican Mark Molinaro if they're happy with the status quo.
And Justin, you know, we've heard actually from a lot of people within the Sharp campaign that the Republicans are indeed scared, and I don't really know what it means to be scared or not scared, I guess, in this politics, but something does feel different about this election than, say, the past.
Right. And, you know, we talking with a lot of people today, obviously, we had our various assignments around the county. You know, there are a lot of people who are voting in this election, whether you're voting for the top race for governor here in New York State or for the most local top race for the sheriffs, that they want change. And, of course, Sharp doing very well online. We've seen that. We've seen that with our stories. Engagement on his stories are very high. The question is, will that engagement translate to the voter booth today? And will those numbers translate to him winning the office tonight?
I think tonight is going to be a very interesting night with all of the races. I think we're going to have a great time covering it.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, please stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one thing we want to tell everyone that join us tonight at 9 o'clock right here on Facebook Live. We'll have much more on these local races and much more live coverage. We'll have cameras at the polling places, both not the polling places, but at the parties.
Yes.
The Republican and the Democratic viewing party here in Jamestown and in Celeron.
Oh, we got you covered.
As well, absolutely, your source for politics. Saying hello to Mike, to Katie, to Andrew, to Robin, to
Rory
Tabitha.
B.
Rory watching us. He'll be back here tonight as well. Much more to tell you about here now at noon, though. A look at voting nationally, how turnout is projected to come in a big number.
And later on, we still have a look at some other local news right after this.
Keep your car running smooth this winter at Express Bike and Auto. Located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension, right here in Jamestown, they're your one-stop shop for all of your automotive needs. Looking for a new ride? Express Bike and Auto even sells vehicles. And guess what? Financing is available. What are you waiting for? Visit Express Bike and Auto at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension today.
We have been fighting this drug war for 50 plus years. It's time that we get a little smarter in our enforcement. We can't just incarcerate them and then let them go.
A big deal is fiscal responsibility.
We need to have an open, honest, and accountable budget. We have to encourage the community to be involved. Every interaction with our community has to be looked at that as an opportunity to build a partnership to keep our community safe and secure. When in doubt, put the public first.
Right.
And you can't go wrong with that.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
And welcome back to News Now at noon. Millions of dollars have been spent on ads. Thousands of hours pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, making calls, or sending texts. And it all comes down to today for the 2018 U.S. midterm elections. Natasha Chen is in the nation's capital watching it all unfold.
We're already seeing long lines at the polls that are open right now, and people have been very enthusiastic even in early voting. 31 million people have cast early ballots or absentee ballots as of yesterday. That far surpasses the 2014 midterm early vote numbers.
Before the sun was even up on Election Day, people lined up to have their voices heard.
Whoever you decide on, that's your choice, and that's good because that's what this country's about. You have the choice to choose. So get up, get out, vote.
After months of stumping and hitting the campaign trail,
you have to work really hard for every single vote. Every vote counts.
It all comes down to today for the 2018 midterm elections. All 435 House seats are on ballots across the country, 35 out of the 100 Senate seats and 36 of the 50 governors. As of Monday morning, at least 31 million people had voted early, blowing early voting numbers from the last midterms out of the water. Both Democrats and Republicans hope that means good news for them.
The Republican agenda is the American dream, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing back the American dream.
And when it comes to politics, the last-minute push tends to mean last-minute attacks.
What this election is really about is whether we feel comfortable having a president who is a pathological liar.
But whatever drove people to the polls over the last few weeks, there's hope that trend will continue Tuesday. And we are seeing a lot of people out there as we mentioned. The polls will first close at 6 p.m. on the East Coast. One of the first elections you might be hearing about, the Kentucky 6th District. There, Amy McGrath, a former combat pilot, is challenging Republican Representative Andy Barr. That may tell us an early indicator of the political environment we're in. On Capitol Hill, Natasha Chen, back to you.
Thank you, Natasha. And of course, we remind you to stay connected all day long on your favorite races right here at WNYNewsNow.com. And tonight, once the polls close, we're going to watch the state and local races unfold here on Facebook Live. Coverage, again, starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
And other headlines we are following today, the Buffalo Diocese has released the names of 20 more priests and 16 members of religious orders who have at least had one substantial abuse of a minor against them, bringing that total to 176 priests. At a press conference Monday afternoon, Bishop Richard Malone prayed for abuse victims and said resigning as bishop could create more instability at a time when the church needs more stability.
Your understanding of the facts and the process is essential, and I'm thankful to you for the ways you really do try to be attentive to the facts. Today, I and others will be very specific and use precise words. It is not about semantics. We all know words can be misinterpreted or misunderstood, and that does not lead to fuller understanding and the ability to move forward.
Now, church officials said most of the substantial abuses happened between 1960 and 1970, and the numbers have decreased since then. Malone said the Buffalo Diocese needs stability and that a resignation would not create that. He said he will continue to work with others who still, quote, believe in me.
New York State will dedicate $3 million to conduct a study to reduce flooding and ice jams on 4 creeks in the North County. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo made the announcement this week. He said in total, the state is looking into a total of 48 flood-prone waterways throughout the state. The 4 creeks in Chautauqua County include Silver Creek, Walnut Creek, Kanawha Creek, and Crooked Brook, all of which are in the North County. Cuomo said the study will use advanced modeling techniques and field assessments to identify priority projects and actions to reduce community flood and ice jam risks while improving habitat. The governor did not, however, give a timeline as to when the research will begin.
And Matt, we've seen quite a bit of some pretty damaging flooding up there throughout the course of time, so certainly going to want to keep an eye on that as well.
Well, I'm surprised too, and I'd have to look. I'm sure. What's that creek? What's the one that's in Gowanda? You remember? Cattaraugus Creek, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that has to be part of the project. You would think. I'd have to look into it.
Right,
but
it looks like just based off the information Cuomo sent us today that it's not.
Really?
So, yeah, so certainly.
Because that's the one that floods a lot.
But I'm looking at the maps of it this morning, kind of looking at the Cuomo press release. It looks like a lot of that water floods into these smaller creeks, and the smaller creeks, which are not as big, have a lot of problems.
So they're looking at the smaller ones.
At least this study. Now, again, you look at creeks up by in near Sinclair, not Sinclairville, Silver Creek, for example. Silver Creek is a really big. I would say it's a pretty wide creek in some of the, but it obviously has a lot of meandering. So certainly good news for people in that section of it as well. Saying hello to Brenda, to Amber. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Oh, and Rory made an excellent point. Natasha Chen earlier said the polls close at 6. That may be true for certain states.
But not in New York.
Yeah, it sounds like Kentucky may be one, but in New York, again, the polls close at 9 p.m.
Yes.
So you have some extra time there.
Right. So get out and vote if you haven't already, and watch our coverage tonight because it'll be great. Starting at 9 o'clock. As polls close, we will be live and on the air.
Loud and proud.
So much more to tell you about here. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with details on that windy sky out there. You see the flags are waving here on 3rd Street.
And later on, Norm Rodriguez is going to wave the flags of his own with a look at sports right after this.
Oh, that was pretty good, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Coming soon to downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops Restaurant and Tavern. The full-service restaurant will carry a wide array of craft brews, wines, and food pairings to make your taste buds sing. Enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, including a Sunday brunch buffet. A truly one-of-a-kind experience coming soon.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Yeah, and ice jam flooding definitely is a big problem, and that's actually the reason why they put the ice boom in Lake Erie every year to prevent those large ice chunks from flowing down the Niagara River and causing damage to not only the waterfront properties, but also to the water intakes as well. This is the Sky Vision camera coming from the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca. Traffic flowing pretty well on I-86 there, but look at the wind. Southwest wind to 13, and that wind is going to be going up as we go throughout the day. So as I told you yesterday, we were going to be going through some rain this morning, and that's definitely what we had here. Clymer from a spotter report, 0.43 inches. Mayville, 0.38. Jamestown at 0.28, and Falconer, 0.16. So again, the more widespread rain was this morning, and now it's tapered off into more scattered showers. Once again, there is a high wind warning that is in effect for Chautauqua, Erie, and Niagara counties. For some reason, it's not showing up here, but this high wind warning is for wind gusts of around 60 miles an hour, and of course, there's a wind advisory out toward Rochester as well. And because of the winds, the Weather Service also issued a lakeshore flood warning, so definitely with the higher waves coming off Lake Erie because of the wind, could be some flooding going on near the Lake Erie shoreline communities, so keep that in mind. So here's the updated First Defense on everything you need to know for today. The strongest winds are really going to be later this afternoon into tonight. That's when the winds are really going to crank up. It's going to tap that lake, and wind gusts around 60 miles an hour. The highest chance for the highest winds will be near the Lake Erie shoreline. So if you live right near the Lake Erie shoreline, that's where you're going to find some of the strongest winds, and definitely some downed tree limbs and some scattered power outages are likely here when you have winds of that magnitude. News now, Cam, you can see the gray skies, but that flag is a flying. You can see it right there. That's a good indication of how strong the winds are. 54 is the current temperature with that southwest breeze of 17. Look at the gust around 31. That's going to be going up throughout the day, and a wind chill of 49 when you take the sustained wind and you combine it with the air temperature. So First Defense Doppler, this is a train of moisture that is associated with that trough system that we told you about yesterday. But whenever we have a surface low that is passing to our west, we're generally on the stronger side of it. So that generally means stronger winds, hence the reason why the winds will be picking up. Close in on First Defense Doppler. This band of rain out here looks, it's kind of moving to the northeast, but it may clip Chautauqua County. So again, maybe a pass and go shower there, not out of the ordinary there. Future scans for today, again, you can see it picks up on that scattered rain chance throughout the day, and that scattered rain will continue throughout the night. It's not going to be widespread rain. That's the good news, but you will be dodging some raindrops from time to time tonight, and then tomorrow maybe the chance for a few scattered or isolated showers. Today, temperatures warmest right along the Lake Erie shoreline today, but temperatures will be going down after a cold front comes on through tomorrow. And again, a little bit cooler once you work inland here, and the winds really pick up for tonight. So speaking of tonight, if you're going out to vote, which you should, chance for a few rain showers, mostly cloudy. And again, the breeziest winds will be right along Lake Erie. Look at the wind gusts, 50, 55 to 60 miles an hour at times. Here come the next 7 days of your life. They're on that screen. 47 tomorrow. That's after that cold front. Rain and snow showers possible Thursday. Also the same thing for Friday. Potential lake effect issues Saturday through Monday. It's still too early to pinpoint the exact timing and where those bands will set up and how much, but that's something we'll keep track of throughout the week. Norm will have sports right after this.
The Fitness Bunker in Lakewood is a locally owned and operated club that cares about your health and wellness. They invest in it. Right now, enter their 30-day challenge, where for only $69, you get 30 days of unlimited everything. That's right, everything, along with 2 one-on-one personal training sessions. Then, if you lose 10 pounds, you'll get the next month free. Plus, the first place winner will get 2 Buffalo Bills tickets or a $100 gift card. Details right now on the Fitness Bunker's Facebook page.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
Election Day, sports fans. Welcome back to News Now at Noon. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Tomorrow night will be the start of a 3-game homestand in 4 days for the Jamestown Rebels. The Rebels host the Johnstown Tomahawks tomorrow night. Then on Friday and Saturday, the Rebels will have back-to-back games against the Northeast Generals. Puck drop for all 3 games will be at 7:05. On Thursday, the JCC Jayhawks volleyball team will take on Nassau Community College in the first round of the NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship. The game will take place in Rochester at the UCR Regional Sports Center. First serve will be at 11 a.m. Tonight at 9 p.m., the Brooklyn Nets will take on the Phoenix Suns at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. The Nets won their last game 122-107 against the 76ers, while the Suns beat the Grizzlies their last game 102-100 to snap a 7-game losing streak. The game will be televised on YES. Fans can also watch the game on the NBA app. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Norm, thank you. And some of your sports today brought up some funny but great memories, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, we were not in a bad way, Norm. Don't worry.
In a very good way.
I wasn't worried.
Well, staff at the Jamestown Public Schools recently donated more than $23,000 to the United Way of Southern Chautauqua County. This all part of a yearly fundraiser. Officials said this year's donation was an increase of $6,000 over last year. That's quite a bit. Now, according to the district, the United Way of Southern Chautauqua County invests over $400,000 here in the city of Jamestown to public school each and every year. That includes programs that work directly with students.
That's a pretty good story, Justin.
Yeah, it is. It's great to see this money coming back and really to see these teachers raising funds for their own students. Because you think about it in a way, like the teachers obviously have direct impact to the students. And then say they get some funding from the United Way for a grant or for college or however that funding is distributed. I'm sure there's a number of opportunities. But then the teachers themselves say, hey, let's try to give back with a yearly fundraiser. And then raising so much more than they did in years past is incredible. So full details on WNYNewsNow.com on that story.
Dakota's going to do the fight song.
Yeah.
What fight song?
Whatever the JHS.
Every time we have a Jamestown story.
All right. And
every time we have a Jamestown story, you do that, except for today.
Wow.
Would you like a Jamestown story?
Do you have another Jamestown story? This is a Jamestown story.
What?
I thought you said I had a Jamestown story, but I didn't tonight.
No, every time. Every time.
Do you have one?
I don't know. We can talk about the time somebody threw my backpack in the garbage up in the new gym.
If you're watching and
picking
you did
on Dakota, shame on you.
Our lawyers are coming for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna send Enrod after you, Norm Rodriguez.
Oh
yes. Anyway, let's do weather. Smooth transition there. So again, today, windy, high wind warning in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Strongest wind gusts will be right along the Lake Erie shoreline. And take a look at that. Temperatures fall down a cliff. Look at that. By next week, 30s and potential lake effect snow. It's still too early to know if and where those bands will set up and how much snow we'll see out of it. But that's something we are monitoring with eagle eyes throughout the week, and we'll keep you updated.
What's that game on The Price is Right where they got the mountain man?
Oh, Cliff
the yodeler. Yeah, and then he falls right off and get like the temps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
We actually did that. What was it? Like earlier in the year, I actually created a graphic with the little mountain climber guy. I should bring that back.
I'm going to put that on YouTube later on.
Yeah. I still watch The Price is Right every day.
Me too, but
I've
we're
been watching
working
it
when
for
it's
20
not.
some
Come
odd
on.
years. In the words of Bob Barker, I'm a loyal friend and true. And I think we're out of time. So
Yeah,
let's
we're
end with
playing the
that.
music, so it means we're out of time.
Okay.
Got to tell you about this. Join us tonight, 9 o'clock, for our local election coverage. We're going to have reporter Bronson Rasmussen at the Democratic Viewing Party up here at the Labyrinth on 4th Street, kind of feet from our downtown studios.
That's right.
And then reporter A.D. Simcoe will be at the Republican viewing party, speaking with candidates there as we watch results come in live. That's tonight at 8 o'clock right here on WNY.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yes. 9
Where
o'clock.
we
Hey,
go.
9 o'clock
Start
right
an
here.
hour early.
9 o'clock right here on WNY News Now. So join us then.
You got it.
And of course, coverage continues online all day at WNYNewsNow.com. We will see you tonight at 9 and then tomorrow for News Now at noon.
If we haven't died since then.
No,
Wow.
Lots of coffee, lots of coffee.
That's right.